So we have these fancy LG washer and dryer machines, and we've had them 2.5 years. I gotta say, overall, I'm actually pretty happy with them, other than they're kind of slow, at least the washer, compared to the traditional top load. Never really had any problems with it. It's not like the Samsungs that are so problematic or have been in the past. But anyway, washing a whole bunch of jeans. I had it loaded pretty heavy, and it didn't finish the cycle and has this error, OE. And there's a lot of water in the bottom. A lot of water. I know you can't see in here. I mean, it's not draining. So I had to go Google, why read the manual? I don't know if there's anything about error codes in the manual, but why do that? I'm American. We don't do that here. Just hop on your phone or computer or whatever and go Google it. So what I saw from Googling, and I'm going to try to confirm this, is that there's an access panel right here, and that there's a filter behind there for the water pump, kind of a pre-filter to keep large chunks of lint from getting in there. And so I have a sneaking suspicion that that's actually it, because we have 3 dogs, 2 that are pretty large. They shed a lot. We bring them in. They have nice comfy crates and pillows to stay in, and we wash them in this washing machine, and I keep joking that we need to take that stuff to the laundromat and tear up somebody else's machine, but there are wads of hair that come out of here, so I have a feeling that's probably clogged. For safety's sake, what I'm going to do, I'm going to disconnect power before I go messing with this. Ideally, this should be grounded, right? That third prong, so I should be protected, but I'm going to play it safe, disconnect power before I go any disassembling, even if it's something simple that should be, just a plastic screen there. That's a metal body. I'm going to have my hand in there. I know it's wet. I'm going to try to get some towels down, probably to catch anything that spills. This would actually be the bottom of a typical machine, because this is actually the optional, drawer stand type things. And yeah, there's the rest of the load I had to pull out, because hoping if I ran it again it would drain. So I actually asked the wife about it, because I thought she had bought an extended warranty on it, and I think she did. I think it's still good, but I'm going to check the drain first. But anyway, she said, yeah, it's done that before when I've had a heavy load, and I've taken part of it out and done it in 2 parts, and it's been okay. But anyway, I have a sneaking suspicion I hear what sounds like a pump running when it tries to drain, or when it's running the rinse. So I think the pump's running. I don't think it's an electrical failure of, circuit board or the pump motor itself. I think it is just probably clogged and not able to get out. So this is just a nice little, no tool required, push down, pops open. And look at that, it's got a little diagram on there showing you to pull the hose out, drain the water into a pan or a bucket, and then rotate to pull this filter out. Wow, I'd almost bet that's in the manual, and I was too lazy to go read it. Instead, I had to Google it. Anyway, I guess this will help me out being up on a platform. I've got towel hanging over there, towel down here on the floor. I have the world's dirtiest bucket out of the garage. I may have to set you down to get this open. That is not much hose to drain with, and I'm probably going to need both hands. It looks like that's going to twist out. It shows just pulling it out. And then we'll let the water drain, and I'm assuming a little will drip out of there. But what I'm guessing here is much like a fuel pump on a vehicle, or any other motor that's got a pump, or any other pump that's run by an electric motor. If you've got a clogged filter and that restriction sits there, it's hard on the motor and eventually burn it up. So hopefully we haven't done any damage here by continually trying to run this with a partially clogged filter. So I think it's finally almost done. I got 2 full buckets plus this little bit, and now we're at a dribble. I also found, I'm pretty sure, the fruit roll-up wrapper is from the oldest kid. Chapstick, I think, is from the wife. But anyway, this washer definitely hasn't had an easy life, I guess, besides the pet hair that ends up in there. Who knows what we'll find in the filter. So I'm going to put the plug in, and then we'll pull the filter out and hopefully we've got enough of the water out that it doesn't create a huge mess pulling that out, but I'm expecting at least a little bit of water to drip out. So there wasn't too much water that dripped out, and the dark almost black is actually from these being new black jeans, so a lot of loose dye. That was our first wash altogether. But looking at the filter here, I'm pretty sure that's our problem. That thing is just chucked plumb full. Of course, my light's terrible here, and I think the camera's doing worse with the light on. It's absolutely full of dog hair. Absolutely. That's definitely an issue. So, a little better light here. OMG, this thing had to have been complaining for a while.
Complain.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. So, it's not filth. Why that's so dark. It's dye from the black blue jeans, but still pretty nasty. Mostly dog hair, some chunks of carpet from the bathroom rugs. I don't know, is that cat litter in there from that damn cat? That's what the filter should look like with all the gunk out of it. Poor pump. It was trying its best, couldn't drain. Hopefully it didn't burn up trying to drain through force water through that rat's nest.
I'm just trying to fill your love tank. I know you like projects.
I'm going to look around in here and see if I see anything hanging down, gunky stuff. Looks like there's a little bit. Yep. And this just threads in. Shove it in there, thread it in, righty-tighty. Lefty-loosey to come out. Snug, caps back in. I popped the cover off, but just to get it out of my way, make it a little easier to drain, and I'll take this towel and wipe that up. And I'll leave the cover off to make sure this isn't leaking here after we run it. So the only way I'm going to know is if we run it and it drains, and if it still doesn't, then I'm not out anything. And we'll just call the warranty company. Or hopefully the warranty's still in effect. I don't want another project tearing something down. But anyway, not out anything. If it still doesn't work, if it's actually the motor that's bad, but I'm pretty sure after looking at that it was clogged and has been clogged for a while, and hopefully didn't burn the motor up. So it's been about 6 months since I initially cleaned that out and filmed that, and we have had to do it once again. Again, not a fault of the washer. Just keeping bedding for the dogs, and lots of hair, large dogs. So totally user fault here, user error. I should have read the manual, should have known to check it. If you're doing it a little more proactively, which I've put it on the calendar and doing it that way, just doing a proactive clean of that filter on the schedule, there's not much water to drain out. I mean, you can just take a little cup and catch from that hose just a little bit, and it's pretty easy to do. Overall, I'd have to say that, completely user fault, my fault here. But I'm pretty impressed with how tough that pump is. I mean, most electric pumps of any sort, with that kind of resistance, that kind of clogging, probably would have failed. So, very impressed. Even after that, it didn't just survive short term, it has survived, a good 6 months now, with plenty of more wear and tear on it. So, I definitely think these LGs seem to be pretty well-built machines, especially when you look at what's going on with the Samsungs, or what has gone on in the past with so many of their appliances. Definitely a big fan of the LG stuff.